giving the judgment about Natasha's suspension. Philip, thank you for coming around.
Thank you very much.
Peter, thank you for staying back.
Thank you.
All right, a while ago we were discussing a few issues that bothered about, staying to the course, staying to your constitution, staying to the policies that guide you, that of National Assembly, their guidelines, and their, they have their rules, rules of the House and all that. I was just wondering if the rules eventually had any way of having a senator suspended beyond 14 days. And why not trying to preempt the court and the matters before the court? Do we think Natasha has taken a good lead in taking this case to the court? Philip,
thank you very much. You could have done better than what she had done. There are precedents. I remember the person of Senator Ovi Omo Agege that represented us Central in the 8th Assembly was suspended. He went to court to challenge his suspension, and the court said it lacks such powers, and it was restored to the House. But unfortunately, this 10th Assembly still told the same line in the case of Natasha. The rules, like you said, people should stay within their boundaries. The rules of the Senate states that you can only suspend a member
for 14 days.
For 14 working days.
Yes.
Not even just 14 days. 14 working days means Monday to Friday and so. But, trying to abuse power, showing off that I'm in charge, why you can't do nothing. You suspended somebody indefinitely or for 6 months, whatever reason. What happened to her constituency?
Exactly.
Are they not part of Nigeria? So you will take this.
A fellow, somebody that was also voted just like me. You didn't employ me. I don't work for you.
It is her constituency that hired her to represent.
I don't. And the way your people
pay her.
Yes.
The Nigerian money is being used to pay. It is the money of Kogi Central that they used to pay because they hired her to work for them.
I mean, I see this colleague being able to gather the power to suspend you. It's a little bit ridiculous to me. I don't know the premise that rule was built on. That of 14 days may be okay so that you can present your case is a little bit reasonable, to show some element of order. But anything beyond that, I mean, what is the basis of a fellow legislator who was also voted like I am? I didn't write an application to work for him. I'm not an employee under him. So I don't get it. How does that power work?
Everything is possible under the same Senate. It's not the same Senate that ratify removal of a governor by voice vote, or you ought to have two-thirds majority. I don't have an issue with suspending of Natasha if she has.
I mean, for a reasonable time.
Disobeyed constituent.
Okay.
My issue here is that they've gone beyond what is written. They've gone beyond their own laid down rules. This is suspended for 14 days. If she has broken the law, she should pay. But she cannot pay beyond what is stipulated in the act.
Okay, I will get back to you shortly. Philip, let me ask you. One of the things that engineered the suspension was gross misconduct. What kind of gross misconduct could a legislator, the place of Natasha, be guilty of now that's such that you are going to suspend her indefinitely?
You see, that's why I'm happy that she went to court to challenge the suspension. Because how do you mean gross misconduct? How do you define it?
Interpret it?
Because you were meant to come to the Holo chamber to sit for the day business. And she came. And she got to the Holo chamber. Her seat has been, altered. And she raised an objection or she raised an observation that, look, what has happened? Why am I removed without being notified? I think she's entitled to that. And the same person who is suspending her also has suffered same fate under the 7th, Senate, wherein, Dr. Bukola Saraki was the president. And he was given a fair hearing.
Was it 7th or 9th Assembly?
It was 7th.
7th, okay, it was 7th. Okay.
So when that happens, he apologized. He apologized because he found that he was being emotional.
Yeah.
So if Natasha had done something out of emotion, and if he had time, he had settled down to explain to Natasha, maybe Natasha would have also apologized, just like the way he apologized to,
Because himself was not in the Ninth Assembly. Yes, he wasn't in the Ninth Assembly.
I think it's 8th Assembly.
Are you sure it's not even the 8th Assembly?
it's 8th
I think it's probably 8th Assembly. I don't think it's 7th.
Maybe. So why taking such a drastic action when you've also walked through that lane before? And what?
Okay, let me come at what was a little bit interesting. In the defense counsel, they accused Natasha of flouting the court order through the satirical apology that was published on the Facebook, And what's it called? Natasha's lawyers said that they too had flattered an order. That even in their own case, they didn't flat any order because the satirical apology or response or letter was not about suspension from
It has
the
nothing to do
house.
with the case.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with the case. And were you happy that the judge didn't kind of give credence to that?
No, of course I was, and I'm happy that this judgment is coming in a few weeks' time. Because we need clarity on a lot of things. We need to know where the ban stands. But this tension has expanded the boundaries of everything. So this court now need to help us to define these boundaries. It was coming to suspend her on this misconduct for more than 14 days. I will keep hammering this. For more than 14 days, it's illegal. And again, she was in court trying to stop her suspension. You are aware. They won't even let it play out. What the hell, they suspended her. Do you want to get the state of the execution of this?
Which you refuse to respect.
You refuse. And you want to suspend her. Remember, that letter that I was out there that was meant to mock Senate President, they were demanding for apology.
Yeah.
They were demanding for it. And she responded the best way she could. Though it was comical, but
so Philip,
nothing to do with the case.
I'll come back to you. When the defendant's lawyer were just trying to raise issues of Natasha flouting court order by the publication on her face with the satirical apology, do you think they were trying to buy time or divert attention or whatever? Or is that Lego gimmick?
Lawyers are full of a lot of,
games,
trick, gimmick when they're in the courtroom.
Yes.
When you have a bad case, one of the things you do as a lawyer is either to buy time or to file
too many unnecessary processes.
Motions.
Yes.
Motion for this, motion for that, motion for that, so that at every court hearing there's a motion. Yeah. Storing the main case from going on. Yes. And that was the trick they came up with. Because that issue they raised of court content, so that the main case will not be tried. So they will look at
and the justice said, no, we're not moving.
Exactly.
We're not taking it any further.
Normal,
yes.
The practice of lawyer, their trademark. But the court were up to their games. We cannot preempt the court.
Certainly.
The matter is sub judice, so we can't discuss the matter. Yeah. Whether the suspension was
legal or not, we don't know yet.
We are not interested in that. What the question you asked and what we're interested in, what was the intention of the defense lawyer to come up with the issue of court content?
Yes.
I would agree with you that it's one of those games lawyers play in court. Because if that matter was taken, the main matter would
not be attended to.
So this celebration of, we're going to get judgment for our defense, whichever way would have come up.
And then we used to say that justice delayed can be justice denied.
We should give kudos to the justice that presided over the matter.
Yes.
She
was resolute.
Yes, she was resolute to say, look, there's no room for technicality here. We must go for fair hearing. Let's go for justice, and that's what she did.
Okay, Peter, like I was saying, just a while ago, that justice delayed can be justice denied, and we're just full of praise for this justice, Binta Nyako. But the public sometimes they do have their own trial right there in their heart. Yeah. Even when you say, this matter is before the court, let's not preempt the court. If for any reason the judgment doesn't go in the way of Senator Natasha, the way the public is praising Justice Binta Nyako for allowing this trial to get ahead, fixing a date for judgment, not allowing the business of games, of pulling motions from one here and there to stall the case. Do you think the people will also praise her if for any reason the case doesn't go in the way of Senator Natasha?
There might be a backlash, but people want to know the reason why she has told the party she told. If it goes against Natasha, I think most Nigerians will want to know the reason why.
Certainly.
We want an explanation. We want to see a copy of the judgment. So based on that, we'll make the decision.
And we'll also learn from that.
For me, this judgment coming this soon.
Okay, Philip, time is against us. We are trying to be as short as possible in this case. Essentially, there is a very similar, let's not, because no case is exactly the same in a way, but a similar case like you cited in OVA, the one of OVA, and it's been tried before. If for any...
And there are other cases like that.
Like that, yes. For any reason, this one goes in a different manner. What are you thinking is going to be the temperature from the society? Because to the larger spectrum, most people believe Natasha is being persecuted in some form.
Well, in the society we are today, they will react negatively, but whichever way the judgment goes on the 27th of June, both party has right of appeal. So, if in any case the Justice Binta Nyako decide to say, oh, the action of the Senate is right, Natasha has right to appeal, certainly she will get backlash from the society. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
Because there are matters, like I said, the matter is subject we are not to preempt the court.
Certainly.
So I wouldn't want us to go into that because the court has set a date aside to give judgment. So whatever it is, let's wait for the judgment, and whatever the judgment is, it is then we can analyze what the effect of the judgment will be. For now, we can't.
No,
we can't preempt.
We can't preempt it.
We are not going to because whatever we say here now, we get to the judge. We are not trying to match pressure on the judge to go to one way or the other. So let's allow the court.
Okay, certainly. What lesson would people learn from this? Because actually, it wasn't only the legal route that was available to Natasha. A lot of people have said, "Oh, why not take the political route? Go and meet Babio, call 2-3 persons, talk to." Because it's always quick. Political solutions are always quicker. If they lock your account today, EFCC lock your account today, instead of you to go to court to challenge them, to let you know the offense you committed, before doing that, a lot of people say, why not just call them, talk to them and things like that. What lessons are people learning from this?
I think she took the right direction. But if you have gone for a political solution, who says it won't happen next month? Who says that 6 months down the line, she will be suspended again? Let's know that they have the power, they have the authority, on where they derived the power to do what they did. So this legal process she's taking, I think is the best thing she has done. And the lesson we will learn is based on the judgment.
All right, because appeal and all this takes time, and like we discussed sometime here before, the time is not waiting for anybody. The tenure of the time for this 10th assembly is going to end by 2025. So 2027 rather. So eventually, as long as this appeal continues, her constituency might be losing out from full representation.
Yeah, that I know, but then there's a price we need to pay for our democracy. If means she's sacrificing her time to get this right because of tomorrow, I think she's on the right path.
All right, Philip, just 30 seconds.
I think she has done the right thing because we have to pursue justice.
And it has a cost.
And if Senator Uduaghan hadn't gone to court when he was suspended, if he had applied the political solution like you rightly suggested, we would have been making reference to it today. So if Natasha judgment comes tomorrow, we should be able to say that if it happened because Nigerians, human beings are human beings, they will always do what they need to do. They will have more reference to make.
More precedence.
So I think she has taken the right step. What the lesson we should take home, Nigerians should take home is this: always learn to fight for your right.
Right, no matter how long.
No matter how. Fight
because
for
you are creating precedents for people following you.
When you slip over your right, you will be taken for granted. But if you are known for fighting for your right, people will give you your space and they will stay by their boundaries.
All right.